Today I want to talk about nail trims, and I always like to have a sharp pair of nail clippers, and the nail clippers can be sharpened with a little chainsaw file if they get dull. And if you buy a set of nail clippers from a dollar store, sometimes they're not sharp, and when you go to use them on the dog, you're crushing the nail. You're not actually cutting it, you're just crushing it. So a big mistake that people make is that they cut the nails, and I'm going to do a drawing so you'll see what I mean, but they cut the nails at the wrong angle. And I watched a video that some ladies did with some spaniels, and they had the best explanation, and I always remember this because they said the length is on the top, the quick is on the bottom. So we don't want to cut the quick, but we want to cut off the length. So that's why I'm holding my nail clippers at, this angle and cutting at that angle. So when I Dremel, I do the same thing. I Dremel, but because I've got them trimmed and my dogs, they don't get their nails don't get very long. I usually just have to tip. Sometimes all I'm going to do is Dremel because they don't need that much off. But I get dogs with really long nails in because I'm a pet groomer, and I take off what I can, and then I use my Dremel. So I have a Dremel. It's like a $100 Dremel. It's a safer Dremel because it's battery operated. So if you had a Dremel that was electrically operated, you have a lot of power, and you need to worry about that, because if the Dremel accidentally gets into the dog's ear or tail, you can really hurt them. And I found out the hard way many years ago. I was wearing a smock, and the Dremel caught the smock, and the only way I could get it off of me was to kick the cord out of the wall. Just all happened so fast. So the other thing I'd like to say is that I always hold a dog with its paw in a natural position. Now, I've seen some people that do this, and that's cruel. Like, they should be in a natural position. So now, whenever I do use my Dremel, I always wear my mask, because you don't want to be breathing in the dust, and it could dirt and whatever that is on those nails in your Dremeling. You don't want to breathe it in and have it in your lungs. So I'm going to put on my mask. So I'm just going to take this Dremel, and I'm going to file the sharp edges off. And I'm still thinking about the angle that I want that nail to be cut in. Can or don't. So I never Dremel the quick. I'm just Dremeling the nail, and I'm Dremeling the top. So of course this is a almost 4-year-old dog, and she's quite used to having this done. Maybe complaining a little bit, wanting to lick. When you cut a dog's nails, you're creating a very sharp edge. And then when they jump up, they shouldn't, but they do, then you have to worry about them scratching people. So that's another consideration. So I'm going to get Hannelore to stand. I'm going to change to the other side. So this is real important, that when I hold her, pick up her leg and start to do her nails, that she's in a natural position. And I've seen some groomers put the leg out like this, like that's just cruel. Or I just want to hold it in a natural trotting position, and then I'm just going to take some length off at that angle. nothing to come off there. I'm going to do the same thing with the Dremel. So the bit that I'm using, that's a Dyama groove, and that's a really good bit for doing nails. And it's made, it has diamonds in it, and it's expensive. You can use just sandpaper, but you can't do a dog with damp nails that way. So if I were to cut one of the nails too short, then I get a little container of styptic powder, and that'll stop the bleeding quickly. Generally, a little quick of a nail trim is not going to cause much of a problem. Sometimes if a dog is flailing around, then somebody squeezes the nail clippers at the wrong time, they can cut the nail really badly and it'll bleed, and you may have to get like a styptic pen or something. You can drag it on a bar of soap and try to plug the hole. I don't think they'll bleed to death, but they might bleed all over the house. So I have one more foot to do on Hannelore. Here, stand. So this is where I'm going to say that poodles are generally trained that they are not allowed to jump off the table. Having said that, Hannelore has been known to break that rule occasionally. I don't like it. She gets in trouble for it, but she beats to her own drum. So, how often should you do a dog's nails? Once every 2 weeks would be great. Anything to keep them from getting too long, because when a dog gets really long nails, they're not able to use the bones in their feet properly, and it can contribute to arthritis, and it can make dogs slip on the floor, and it's better to just keep them done. And if you can learn to do them yourself, that's ideal. And if you can't, you need to find somebody who's good at what they do, who does Dremel and knows about the angles. That's it for nails.